Hi everyone! I'm Emily and today I'll be making a koi pond with resin. I'm going to start by mixing up some teal paint to start with the background. The color was a little too blue, so I added in some green as well. So now I'll paint that on the entire canvas. After that has dried, I'll paint on some rocks. I'm going to make a light brown color with a bit of a yellow tint. To paint the rocks, I'm just going to make little dome shapes around the perimeter of the canvas. I'll also go in with some darker shades to add some variation. Now it's time to create the wire pieces. I'll start with the two koi. I'm going to take some packing tape in the size of the fish and then place the fish underneath to make a template. To form the body, I wrapped the wire around the template and tried to make sure that it's sticking to the tape to make sure it's as flat as possible. I then cut off any excess. To make the frilly bits of the fins, I use my pliers and bend the wire up and down and up and down until I'm happy with the shape. For the tail, I take some wire and bend it in half and pinch it, and then I cut off the excess and put it in place. The lily pads are very simple to make. I just cut some wire and then wrap it around something round. And then once I've wrapped it, I take some pliers and I bend in the edges to make that signature lily pad shape. And now there's 3 of them, yay! So anyway, now that the background is dry, I've mixed up some resin and I'm going to pour a layer over top. I think the layer I poured was a little too thick. I would recommend pouring quite a thin layer, and you'll see why in a moment. After pouring the resin, I'm going to place all of my wire pieces, and I decided to use some jump rings just as like some 3-dimensional rocks. And now I'm adding in the lily pads and the fish, which was actually pretty hard to get off the tape, by the way. And the reason why I recommended a thin layer is because some of the pieces, like the small fins of the koi, got submerged under the resin, so there wasn't like a raised part, which was what I was going for. Another thing I had trouble with was getting the wire pieces to lay flat against the canvas. As you might be able to see, the lily pad, it's like completely off, like floating off of the canvas, which could be kind of cute, but it wasn't quite the look I was going for. After everything has been placed, I'll cover it and let it cure. Once it's cured, I'm just going to mix a bunch of different colors of UV resin and place it onto where it's supposed to be and cure it quickly so that it doesn't move anywhere where it's not supposed to be. The wire pieces being submerged within the resin made this part a little bit more difficult because the UV resin could slide right over the wire and cover up the gold outline. Now I'm going to mix up some pearlescent white and pink resin and pour it into this flower mold to make some water lilies. only fill the molds part way so that the flowers won't end up being too tall. Now it's time to demold the flowers. Aren't they just adorable? Now I'm going to fill in the centers with a yellow Posca pen. I wasn't completely happy with the colors in the koi, so I used some paint to fix that. And now I'm just going to use some UV resin to attach the water lilies to the lily pads. And now it is finally time for the final coat of resin. And here is the finished piece. I'm so happy and glad it turned out. As you can see, there's still some overhang on the edges because I just didn't sand it all the way down. And some of the resin is going over the wire, which is unfortunate. But I think overall I'm super happy with this piece, and I definitely want to make some more that are similar. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like and subscribing. I'll see you next time. Bye!